Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons. Sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club. Kenworth Trucks Australia and Pace Farm Eggs.
G'day, I'm Fletch and welcome to the show. Today it's an eclectic collection, a retired farmer where passion for the land is one thing and passion for his classic cars is something you're about to see next in this week's Classic Restos on the road. Look at this, the quietness, it's almost deafening. A beautiful property north of Goulburn in New South Wales. And this is a little about Mike Forner.
How splendid is this place? 100 acres of bliss, scenery to whet the appetite of the relaxed, a place to unwind. But there's more to the story. Mike and his wife Sheila, married 56 years at time of filming here today, moved to this location around 2 years ago to downsize, leaving 200 acres in Walker and 10,000 acres prior to that. When some people age and perhaps downsize into a villa, Mike and Sheila downsized to 100 acres. Mike was saying he gets bored these days on the smaller 100-acre property. So then his simmering passion for classic cars that was laying dormant for many years raised its oily head. And here's a few the cars that helps Mike cure his boredom these days.
So Mike, how could you not like living here?
We are perfectly happy here. It's a wonderful part of the world, sometimes a bit chilly, but absolutely beautiful.
It's a small price to pay, isn't it? We might hear that from some people. We talk about the southern parts of New South Wales and, well, southern part of Australia. The first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people is, oh, it's cold, but you've only got to put something like this on.
And you're right.
And you're right to go, aren't you?
But if you have the 4 seasons, you're blessed.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So where did cars start with you? What age? What is your earliest memory of a car that you looked at as a young bloke and it kind of took you straight away?
Probably a 1934 Dodge in 1963. How does that sound?
There you go.
I bought that car from a car yard in Mascot in Sydney, and we lived on the other side of the harbour. I blew it up on the way home, and I spent the next 12 months rebuilding it, and then we kept it for a few years. It was a beautiful car. Yeah.
It's nice to be at this stage of your life now where it contrasts to quite a few avenues. You have the tranquility of the property here. You're not under the pressures of farming that you once would have been. And of course now you can enjoy these classic cars that you have.
It's the best of both worlds. And I think if you live in a part of New South Wales where you can have a small farm that's productive, which this is, and you can have a very enjoyable hobby, you can get completely immersed in the community because there are more car clubs around this area that you can join. You can go on car runs, you can go to the farmers markets, you can do whatever you wish. So it's a good balance in a life.
Yeah. Now it's interesting too, you're telling me off camera that you're not a mechanic and not so inclined to be on the tools. Now this is good because it's a good example because you don't have to be. You've got a passion for the vehicles that you have and you clean them, you outsource the work when when things need doing, that doesn't retract at all from your passion for owning these cars.
This is going to sound philosophical, but I think I learned early in life that you can't be good at all things. And I've always worked on the basis if I can find someone better at what I need to be done than I can do, I'm a mile in front.
Yeah.
And I've done that with farming and I've done that with the cars. But I enjoy the cars. I do get frustrated that I don't know how to fix them, but there are so many people better qualified than me.
Sure.
So I just leave it that way.
Respectfully, Mike, do you mind me asking your age?
82.
82. You see?
I'll be 83 in a month.
There you go.
Don't send a present.
I don't know what I could buy you for the man that has everything. Run us through some of the cars you have in the collection here, Mike.
There is a 27 Cadillac coupe. It's an opera coupe, which means you can actually sit 4 people in the coupe, which is unusual for that style of car. There's a 35 Packard that is the original body, but there's a few more modern bits in it, like disc brakes and power steering and power windows and a nice motor, and it's a very good touring car. There's also a 1933 Dodge Coupe that has a, do you know what a Dodge Viper is?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, it has a Viper motor.
That's a bit late model for you, Mike. They came around in what, the mid-90s or something?
Well, it's the motor, not the car.
Right, oh, okay, the V10.
It's the V10 that's
Yeah.
in that, and it's a boy's car. It's probably suit you rather than me. So that's up here in the shed, and then down in the other shed there is a couple of Jaguars, an XK150, an XJS. There is a 1929 Packard, and there's a 1924 T-model Ford.
I think it's time we go and take a closer look. What do you say?
I'd love to show you.
Good on you, Mike. Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go take a look, eh?
I've been a motoring enthusiast all my life. My Coupe 4 is rare and very special. A real performance car with all-wheel drive grip. I'm not a car club bloke and I don't work on it myself, but I do have a great mechanic. One day, I might even get that HQ. When it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannons.
Get a quote online or call 13 46 46. Shannons Insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
And of course, if you own a Classic or two, make sure they are insured with Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and a chat on 134646. The Shannons Club also awaits you. For more information and a whole lot more, visit shannons.com.au. 1927 Cadillac, Mike. The era where basically a truck chassis with a cabin over it, and that was the luxury car.
I think that's exactly the way it is. It is a V8 motor that still has tremendous torque. It would go up most hills in third gear. It will keep up with the traffic on the expressway. It's a pleasure.
Isn't it incredible? We're talking 1927. We look at the design of the V8. Got to really admire that little intake across the top, joining the cylinder heads and the updraft carburettor there in the centre. Quite unique. And to look at that inverted starter motor sitting in the vertical position like that. Wow.
It is a unique car, but the fundamentals of the V8 motor haven't changed at all. They've obviously put overhead gear on them, but overhead valves, and but the original V8 is still the same concept as they use today.
We look back at technology now well over 100 years old and how advanced they were in those times. It was incredible.
Incredible, yeah. Absolutely incredible. They started the independent suspension, the drum brakes, all sorts of little knickknacks on the car that really make it a pleasure to drive.
When we look at this car too, upper echelon, we refer to the Cadillac, United States of America. If you're up there or you're driving Duesenbergs and what have you, that's
another different level again, but we look at the flagship car of the Cadillac, and not a lot of generations in. 1927, okay, perhaps it could have started in the family where they had their first car, maybe 1900, 1905. We've still got barely 25 years of experience in the family before they start driving these vehicles.
Yes, at least that. It's quite hard to comprehend, I think.
Let's look inside the car. Look at the fabrics used, that suede material. We're talking 1927. Of course, the room. We're still looking at a tapered cab. Interesting how this was the shape for quite a few years, even beyond 1927, where the shape of the cabs, they were wide in the rear and they tapered towards the front.
I don't know why. I have no comprehension of why. It's just, as you say, that's the way it was done. That was obviously the appeal to the public. This is unique, this car, in that it is what's called an opera coupe, and you can seat 4 people in the car, and it's which we've done, and it's very comfortable to take just as a general drive around.
It's got a real Bonnie and Clyde look about it, although they were more, into the V8 Fords. But it's that type of era, isn't it?
It is certainly that era. Probably more the bootlegging era.
Oh yeah, running the shine.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so.
But if I said to you, okay, tomorrow morning we're going to get up in the morning, we're going to paint the wheels orange on the Cadillac, what your immediate reaction is? You're what? But we see the car here with orange wheels and the full white wall tyres. We're not talking a narrow band. We've got a full white wall. And how sensational does this combination look?
It looks fantastic. It was the combination on the car when I bought it. I have not changed anything on this car at all. It came from a large collection, and I think it probably had a time where it was put in a garage for a few years, not too many, and but it was as it is, and I haven't changed the colours. And I like the colours. I think they're wonderful. The cars in this shed, where we'll start. We'll start with the original purchase. The first one that came was the Buick. This is a 34 Buick Coupe. It's pretty much as I bought it. Mechanically wise, we cleaned up the paint a bit. It has Volvo seats. It's what I would call an everyday car if you want to have an everyday car. It was doctored before I bought it with a 39 Buick motor and a 39 Buick gearbox, which has synchromesh on both gears, on both second and third. Beautiful car, good to just drive around as an everyday drive. Over on the far side there's a 1934 Dodge Coupe, which probably started all this. I went looking for a 34 Dodge, and in the meantime I found a few others, and it was rebuilt from the ground up. 2 years it took. It has Jaguar front and rear end. It has a Holden LS2 motor, automatic 8-speed gearbox. Absolutely beautiful car to drive. You could drive it to Darwin and not have the slightest problem. The car next to it is a Jaguar, so it's a mixed match of cars. The Jaguar XK150, it's a beautiful car. It's probably the most valuable car that I have. At one stage I was involved with a self-storage business, which we sold. And when you sell a self-storage business, you clean out the storage sheds of the people who are not paying for their rental. And the manager of the self-storage place rang me and said, look, I think we've got a car down here that he won't pay his rent, hasn't paid for 6 months. So we've put another lock on the door. You're coming down next week, do you want to have a look? So I went and had a look, and inside the self-storage place was an XK150 Jag. I rang the bloke and said he's got 3 choices. One was that we'd park it in the street with the keys in it. He'd left the keys with us. And it was his problem. 2, I could take it round to the police station and park it with the police, and again, it was his problem. Or 3, I'd buy it. So we reached a deal, so I ended up with an XK150. It's a beautiful car. I think it's not as nice a car to drive as you might imagine, but it's still a wonderful car, and it's a pleasure to own. There was an auction in this southern New South Wales. For some reason, I didn't attend it, but I had a representative there. But I lived in Walker, and the auction was in southern New South Wales. It was probably 500 to 600 kilometres. The problem if you buy something in one of those is the transport. So we ended up buying 3 cars, just as what you do. It was not going. It hadn't been going for probably 2 or 3 years. We trucked it home, and it cost $500 to get it going. It is probably one of the nicest cars to drive that I own. It's a beautiful car. It's a V12 motor, absolutely superb car on the highways. It keeps up, will pass anything that you wish to pass, and it's comfortable, just an absolute pleasure. The T-model Ford, there's always a story with these things. A local agent in the area I lived conducted a clearing sale. A chap in Sydney owned a property. He wanted to take the T-model Ford back to Sydney. And so they excluded the T-model Ford from the clearing sale. Then the chap got back to Sydney, it was all too hard, so he rang the agent and said the agent, sell it. So the agent rang me. The price was, I thought, quite good. So even though it's not really fits in with the rest of the cars that I own, here it is, it's still with us. It needs some love and care, which it will get in the next little while. It certainly is different to drive if anyone's driven a T-model Ford. The handbrake is also the gear stick, which can bring you undone quite easily. There is no foot throttle, it's a hand throttle. Depends what you're used to. I'm sure if you drive them regularly, you would get used to it, but I haven't driven it regularly. It is still registered, but it needs some work. As it is, a bit of time, it will go perfectly well, and hopefully I'll get used to driving it, but it's a bit of a challenge.
I spend a lot of time out here. The RT Charger's the real deal, an E49. Remember A-Charger? I've always got projects on the go, so Shannon's laid-up cover helps protect my restorations. I'm Mopar through and through. It's a passion Shannon's understands. I wouldn't insure my cars and bikes with anyone else.
Get a quote online or call 13 46 46. Shannons Insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
Your story began in 1971. It's part of an endless tapestry that tells the story of our nation. It connects innovators to artisans, forests to houses, from the largest of operations to the smallest of outcomes. It's heritage. It's a legacy.
The last car, which is probably is the peak car in the shed. This one behind me here. It's an absolutely beautiful car. It's a 1929 Packard. It is in the pretty much the same order as when I purchased it. A little bit of work's been done on the paint. Mechanically, the motor is showing signs of being 96 years old, but it still is an absolute beautiful car to drive. It's an absolutely beautiful car to look at. It's four-seater. It's an 8-cylinder motor. I saw that car advertised in the Cars magazine. It was based at Mittagong in a very extensive car collection. And I went to have a look at it. There was no question that it was absolutely ideal for what I was looking for. and we purchased it. We've had it for years now, and I think it is an exceptional car. You could drive it anywhere. So very thrilled with it, very pleased to own it. To drive the Packard is still a bit of a challenge in that you have a what's called a crash gearbox, and the crash gearbox is the way that was done in 1929. You have to ideally get the motor synchronising with the same revs that you need for the speed that you're doing with the gearbox. I can't explain it much better than that. That's an art, and if you're deaf, which I happen to be, it's very hard to get that timing exactly right. If you don't get that right, you crunch the gears. You can bet that you crunch them in a public place where you have an audience, and that gets the car tremendous exposure because everyone turns around and looks. So you wear sunglasses and a hat, make sure that you're not recognised. But to drive the car is, in spite of that, an absolute pleasure. I feel that you are driving something unique, and I have never seen a Packard as nice as this one anywhere at all.
Mike, how beautiful is this 1929 Packard Coupe two-door car from so many decades ago? So much opulence and style right here.
It is absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
If I was looking for a car of this age, from this era, something like this would have to be it. It's absolutely outstanding.
It would have to be up there with anything else that I know about. It was part of a massive collection, and it stood out in that collection of 400 cars. And they're all of that era and ilk, and it still stood out. So I think you're spot on.
I just love the Roadster look. Look down the side profile from front to back. Look how it sits with the roof line and with the fenders over the wire wheels. It's stunning. It's just a real good look, I think, from so long ago. And it's incredible that you've got that here, I think, to top this episode off today, Mike.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I think you're a man of impeccable taste.
Mike, I think it's just so fantastic that you've got your shed here and there's such a variety of vehicles, and the enjoyment that they give you, it's keeping you young, isn't it?
It certainly does. So I think it's a great thing for people to get involved in, and it does keep you young because they are sometimes a little bit trying and a little bit of an effort is needed to keep them in the way they are. But it's a wonderful thing to do, a wonderful part of our life.
It is. And if I was ever going to have a vehicle as from this era, it'd have to be something like this. What is there not to love about the Roadster look of these late 20s, early 30s cars? Absolutely outstanding, with the running boards, the sweeping fenders over the outstanding wire wheels, coloured to match the car, the amount of bright work. We look at the roof line. It's just it's a rolling masterpiece.
As I said, you're a man of impeccable taste.
Good on you, Mike. On that note, thank you for having us here today for this special episode of Classic Restos. Take care of yourself, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you both here.
Good on you. Thank you. Until next week, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch. That's Mike.
I'm Mike.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons. Sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club. Kenworth Trucks Australia and Pace Farm Eggs.